Hello, happy health habits, happy hour. Woo
Okay.
woo. Making healthy habits happy hour. Because lots of times they're drudgeries, right? We want to make them happy. And it's so happy for me to be here with all of you because doing this together is way better than doing it alone, don't you think?
Of course.
I think so.
And now we have Anne, and bless Anne for coming. She is making her way, making her way to at her pace and place, right, Anne? And it's okay. We're all at our own
Yeah.
pace.
And we got
Um,
Galaxy connecting, so that might be Elaine because she's been coming a lot.
oh, Elaine, okay,
So
and Sandy. So exciting today. We have as always a lot to cover. But and as we go along, Carrie, I'm gonna go off camera while you lead. Just some, let's connect our brains and body. Let's let me add the one more thing to the PowerPoint as you lead. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a few breaths and just
yeah, just love yourself enough to
get
live a healthy
love yourself
lifestyle.
enough
Because
to live a healthy lifestyle. I hope y'all saw my post I did yesterday because I was talking specifically about this. If you didn't see the live, make sure to go back and see it. All right, go ahead, Carrie.
yeah, and we are in the right place for that. And wherever you are on your health journey, just starting, trudging along, got some great things you want to share, any of it, just give yourself a hug right now. Hands on your shoulder, give yourself a little squeeze and take a deep breath. And just know that you are here for you and we can all help each other. And it really helps. And just having this breathing as part of your routine and just the reminders to breathe properly. So, everybody, deep breath into the belly and another one into the chest. Same inhale and then a long exhale. Maybe get a couple stretches, stretch your arms out and up and just shake them down. Another deep breath into the belly, into the chest, and exhale, exhale. Ooh, let it all out. More out than in, right? All that icky stuff out. We don't need it. Toxic out. Another good breath in. And just see how many times you remember to do this during the day. Each day we want to do some of this breathing, stretching, and just take at least a minute for yourself. If you're in the rest room, it's okay to rest. Because maybe
Yes,
that's why
don't
you're
take your
there.
phone like Dr. Amy does, right?
No phones.
No phones in
Not
the restroom.
sanitary. You know how many poop molecules are on the average person's phone?
Understand? Yeah, it's unsanitary and insane. Insane.
Yeah. So at your discretion, deep breaths in the rest room.
Yeah.
So all that is good. So yeah, let's see what you got for us today, Amy. We're looking at you shuffling slides around.
Yes, I had to
So
add this because this is my inspiration. I don't know
that
what we're
might be too tiny. That's way too tiny for me to read, but go ahead and tell us
I
about
don't know what
your
we're
new
gonna
self-love wheel.
yeah, I don't know what we're gonna label this. We'll get to it later. But anyways, so I will let me get to that. Anne, for Anne's first time, you're on the right bus, okay? We're on the energy bus. Anybody who's here for the first time, and this is our little bus. Here's our little people on the bus, and we're all going in the right direction because we have hope for wholeness. We can come home to ourselves again and be real whole people with happy and healthy in all the things and all the areas in our life. So that's what we're driving at, connecting our brains and our bodies so we can be spiritually, mentally, financially, and socially and occupationally well. All the things, right? The habits of disease are making our life insane, and our spokes on our wheel are broken, and we want to circle and round things out. Again, go back and listen to that live I talked about, right? Because the six spokes on the wheel are our six macro habits. And my question to you guys is right now, based on Monday night from the health class, from the webinar Monday night, I'm now calling it a health class because the gal called it a health class, and it made so much sense to me. It was like, of course, it's a health class. There's 6 macro habits that we've got to master to be ultimately successful and have ultimately balanced well-being lives, not just healthy weight. Okay, what are the 6? Can we name them? Can you guys name them? And the point was, if you don't know how to name them, and David said this on our coach training, didn't he, Sharon? He said, if you don't know how to name them, how can you master them? And these 6 macro habits are the balls that need to be juggled. If we don't learn to juggle them, then we're never going to reach that wholeness. So all the spokes on the wheel need to be intact for us to have the whole circle. Does that make sense? So what let's name some of the macro habits. What can we think of? Can you think of any?
I'll
6.
just take a gander and throw out hydration.
Yes. Hydration and nutrition. They go together.
Surroundings.
Surroundings. Yep. Hydration and nutrition go together. So what we put in our bodies for nutrients. Okay, surroundings, yes.
Yeah,
so
healthy environment. I know sleep is a big one.
So surroundings includes people, places, and pantries, right?
Pantries.
And parties. People, places, pantries, and parties. I just made that up. How cool is that? So environment, people, places, pantry, and party. You know I love to rhyme, Gary. So that's environment, or that's surroundings, people, places, pantries, parties. So that's another one. So we got 1, 2, we got.
I said sleep.
Surroundings, sleep.
How about I mentioned something really icky? I don't know if it works, but how about if you have a really good, how do I say it in a nice way? Regular bowel movements.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry.
That is a macro habit. I want to include that. That's number 7. It is not the ones. It's not in the book.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
It's not.
It should be.
But it is a direct result of healthy nutrition and hydration and healthy mindset, guys. That's the next one. Healthy mindset. Because your mind and your bowels go together. It's called the enteric nervous system. If we're all stressed out, we're going to have messed up bowels.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, if you have emotional constipation, yeah, you got them both.
I mean, I went through every test known to man at Mayo Clinic and ran around in the circles around about what's wrong with my bowels. And you know what it was? It was all in here. It was all stress controlling. The brain and the body have a connection called the enteric nervous system. So healthy mindset. Okay, so what does that include? Our attitude, right? Our self-talk, right? Our habits of learning, right? Learning something, committing to learn and grow, be positive. And what's that line we have to live above? The line. What happens with the line? You know the line? Remember the line? What's the healthy mindset have to do with the line? What's the line? What's below the line?
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff is below the line.
Yeah.
Thinking. Element 4. Anybody remember element 4? So element 4, below the line, stinking thinking.
Thinking.
Okay. Victim, villain, hero, drama triangle, below the line. Above the line, what is it, coach? I forget how they label them. It's the coach, the supporter, and I forget the name of the other one. But it's the positive thoughts. Remember that? Okay. So that's the mindset piece. And then there's one that we're missing. What one are we missing?
Weight management, but that kind of goes with food. But
no. You're dead on, Carrie. Weight management. Because what if we do all these healthy habits, right? When we get all our healthy habits together, don't we lose weight, right?
Yeah.
And we're pooping well, to Anne's point.
Yeah. And your body gets to its healthy, stable set point or whatever.
Yep.
And then management is so much easier.
Then management is a whole nother animal than weight loss, right? Isn't it, Sandy?
Yeah,
Sandy
so
knows.
that's 5 things. Did you forget movement?
Oh, movement. Yeah, we forgot movement. Sorry, we forgot movement. Thank you. Yes, Sandy's
My favorite.
She's queen
Yay,
of
Sandy.
she's queen of the movement category. Yes. So remember, so Habits of Health, we're going to have on September 2nd, we're going to have a 30-day challenge where we're going to remember all the macro habits. This is all in your book, Anne. This is all in our books, right? We're going to remember this in the challenge starting September 2nd. Every single one of these is like a ball in the air. And if you know how to juggle, if you don't know how to juggle, then, we have to learn, right? So good call on that last one, movement. That was the last one we missed out.
Yeah,
So,
and that's usually a lot of times what maybe we focus on the last few challenges, health challenges we've done, have just been like a walking challenge or something, but whatever type of movement. But
yeah.
You can focus on whichever goal. Coming up September. We got early bird registration ready to go. September challenge.
Yeah.
But it's a fun challenge, not a hard, icky challenge. Sometimes
No.
that word is challenging.
It's just a reminder. Yeah, don't think. Yeah, you're right. We don't want it to be it's what we call it is a 30-day focus and encouragement group, right? How does that sound? Is that better?
Yes.
And 30 days of focus and encouragement on the 6 macro habits. Which balls do we normally look at when we start this? We're normally looking at not all 6. We want to do all 6 balls. We think we can, but how many balls at once can you learn? Really, you start juggling one ball and then you start juggling another ball, right? And then what do the first 2 people normally do?
Hydration. Just basic, easy peasy.
Yep. Hydration. We're always focusing
Number
on
2.
what we're eating. Number 2. Yep. And then what's the other one that people are really focused on right away?
Our weight.
Yep. Not weight management. They're focused on weight loss.
Weight loss.
Yeah. Weight,
Movement.
like you said, Deb. That's what,
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people think of first.
Right. And do you notice nowhere in here is weight loss a macro habit? Weight loss is not a macro habit. It's not even on there.
It's actually a result of all those other ones.
Weight loss is a result of mastering all of these habits. Is that not the coolest thing ever?
Yeah. And it actually takes the pressure off. Like, I gotta lose the weight and
Yep.
and we do that to ourselves, right? I can't eat this.
Yep.
And then it's stress. But if we focus on all these healthy habits, yeah, there will fall in place.
Yep. Yeah. We're sunk if we're focusing only on weight, the scale, what we can't do, what we have to do, that's stinking below the line thinking. And we got to focus straight ahead forward on the habits. Okay. And so I love that about Monday night, that the whole thing they brought up about, the 6 macros, this is my takeaway from Monday night. And here's my even bigger takeaway, because I had a client literally leave a shopping mart. I had a new client leave the shopping store in tears because she didn't know how to shop healthy. She didn't have any idea how to put together a lean and green. She literally left the store. She had anxiety. She cried. She didn't know how to even pick up what she needed for her lean and green. How sad is that?
Sounds like me.
But you know what? It's so many people. I can't tell you. It's so many people. Like literally, I'm paralyzed. I don't even know what to buy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
So, and then the other gal I talked to had been 400 pounds and she knew she was going to die if she didn't save her own life. I said, how did you get to the point? She's lost 100. She needs to lose 150 more. I said, how did you get to that point, right? Where you go, okay, I am going to lose, and she said, I just knew I was going to die. And I looked at myself in the mirror and said, no one's going to save me. I gotta save myself.
Yeah.
And isn't that something? And I was like, that's exactly what happened to me. Why I started on my journey is like why I left my practice and everything. Because you have that come to Jesus talk with yourself and go, hey, God's not here yet. Jesus hasn't come. So I'm the one that's got to save me right now. Right. So it's amazing when you have that conversation with yourself. So anyway, that kind of set me off into thinking about the fact that, we can practice these things and we can learn them in the book. Right. But here's the kicker. We can't, even learn to do these things and sustain any of these things and get the resulting weight loss if we don't love ourselves enough to show up. If we don't love ourselves enough to save our own lives, we can't master the habits. I'm like, duh. That gal, she had to love her. She had to figure out how to love herself. Enough to
We all do.
you know, we had to figure out how to love her. I did too. We all have to figure out. The thing that stops every single person is we don't love ourselves enough to really care to take care of ourselves, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
not true?
we didn't know we were allowed to do that.
Yeah,
We take ourselves for granted.
we do.
Yes, Margot.
We take ourselves for granted. And then when you face the fact that you might just die, all of a sudden you wake up and say, if I don't do this for me, nobody is going to.
Yeah.
No hospital bed, no
Yep.
hydration drip, no antibiotic, no pill, no nothing. It's got to come from me.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
from
nobody's
within.
going to do it for me, or nobody's going to give it to me.
Yep.
Yeah, you've been there a few times, haven't you, Margot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna
Yeah.
give this to me on
I
a silver
definitely learned
platter.
the hard way.
Yeah.
And Anne, go ahead. You got your hand up.
Go ahead,
Mic
Ann.
is open.
Yeah, this is obviously my first time being here, so I don't know, Amy, if do we give
Just share.
experiences here?
Yeah. Share your takeaway for sure. Absolutely.
Maybe wait until you talk about this segment here, or wait, like, do we talk about how the week was, or
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna open it up.
Yeah, we talk about what each win of the week was. I'm just sharing my takeaway from Monday. Here's my aha moment. Okay, let me finish this slide and then I'll
go
take this
ahead.
off. Okay, I'll take this off and then we'll go around the room and we'll do celebrating wins and we'll get everyone else's takeaway. But here's my aha moment. Look at this self-care wheel. It's 6 things, is it not?
Yep.
If we don't love, I love this because it's 6 elements of self-love. Guess what? If we focus on that, how much easier is it to do the macro habits, right? They go together. If we hate ourselves, we're going to resent and be mad and, self-deprecating.
Resist.
We're going to resist. We're going to, tell ourselves we fail all the time, or how do we expect to win? We're going to have those negative Nelly conversations and we're going to hate it. The habits are going to be drudgery. But if we focus on our mental health there, it says self-acceptance, mental health, boundaries, self-care, inner voice, and self-discovery.
Yeah.
I love that. That's self-love, the foundations of self-love. Discover who you are, what you like, mental health, how to keep learning and learning coping skills, stress management, self-acceptance is accepting that you do not have to be perfect to be worthy of love. Oh. Boundaries, cultivating healthy communication and boundaries in your relationships. Give and take. Self-care says making the time to meet your needs as best you can, spending the time on your hobbies and interests. Oh, really? Who needs to do that better, right? Inner voice, change the way you talk to and about yourself, working on the voice in your head. Does the voice in your head speak to you like your best friend and like God would, or does it speak to you like someone who is really mean and nasty, like a bully? Right? Do you have a bully in your head, or do you have a best friend in your head? BFF or bully? And then self-discovery is learning your likes, developing goals, hobbies, and interests that make you happy. Sometimes people don't even know what that is. So I think if we start looking more at that in the healthy mindset section of the macro habits, it's going to make all the difference in doing and being able to mirror that in terms of healthy habits. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
The only thing that
absolutely.
I think is missing in this is, I mean, I love it and the foundation of self-love, but somehow there should be a category that talks about love of others, love of family, love of friends, love of
But here's the thing. You can't love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself first.
No, right. I agree with that.
You can't give if your cup is empty.
Yeah.
That concept. But yes, that does become a part of it, Margot, for sure.
Of course, yeah. I mean, and we know that in the big picture, right? Community is essential. We have
Well,
our structure, our strategy, our community, our coaches, our people. We got to have the people, and giving, right, is better than receiving. And then we have our meal plan and our structure and strategy. Yeah. So yes, but I'm talking on a core level, right? That's why people can't ever. That's why people don't master weight loss, because they never master the 6 habits of health. So if you want a makeover for your lifestyle, that's what this program is. If you want a diet, that's what this is not.
Yeah.
And so diets work for weight loss, but they don't work to make over your life. So master the macros and get your makeover. Period. That's all it is. And it's never a perfect science. You always have some balls on the floor. You know, it's never going to be all balls in the air perfectly forever, but that's the practice of it all. Does that make sense, you guys? That's my takeaway. Is that cool? Or
Yeah.
what?
That's awesome. So are we going to get into some of the wins of the week?
Yeah, let's get into some wins.
Because I wasn't sure, Sharon, I hope you can hear us, because Sandy has a big announcement for you.
Yes,
And
let's hear it,
you were cutting in and out earlier, Sharon. So, all right, Sandy, we're going to start with you.
Are you going to take down the screen so we can see each other?
Yeah, I'm going to. Yes, I'm trying to figure out how to get there, because I can't get
Probably
this.
the X.
I can't get it. There we go.
There we go.
All right, Sandy, what's your win of the week?
I've got a few, but my first one is for Sharon. This is day 4 of no sugar. And I am back on a program. It's 5-in-1, but not using all fuelings. It's using 100-calorie healthy food snacks, but eating every 2 to 3 hours. Still working on hydration. It's still a challenge. Steve is on board with me. He's had some bars and he likes them, and we're eating healthier food. Every once in a while he doesn't, but he's very encouraging to me. I'll give you 2 examples. This morning we were supposed to go to a meeting at Broadway Pizza. We're going to share a mini pizza. And I said, I don't really want to eat a mini pizza. I want to drink my shake. He said, I don't need to have pizza either. So he stayed home and I went to the meeting I had to go to. And then we're going to the state fair tomorrow, and we got one of those coupon books. And we went through the coupon book and folded over healthy foods that we're going to share at the fair tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yay.
And
Goodness, Sandy, that's a ton.
I've kayaked around Lake Anne every morning for the last 5 or 6 days. The last 3 days, I walked 5 to 6 miles at the Arboretum. Today, I'm skipping. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at the fair walking.
You go, girl.
So
awesome.
I finally got the head making the decision. You remember I kept saying, I'm not ready. Well, the head is ready finally. Thank goodness.
Good.
1 day at a time.
Perfect.
4 days.
That is all amazing. All amazing.
Congratulations.
How long have we been doing this, Sandy? 4 years?
It's a miracle, because me and sugar. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have an awesome start, and we are so happy. So happy.
And the baby bundt cake that I took out of the freezer to give to a friend at the party or at the meeting, but he wasn't there, is going right back in the freezer before I do something stupid with it.
Yeah. I'm really happy about your sugar, but I'm really, really, really like, my head hurts about Steve. I mean, I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm so excited for you. That was so hard. He was just such a sabotaging influence.
Yep.
Round of applause.
So this will be an amazing, amazing head start for you, Sandy. You're already well on your way.
And I'm traveling to Dallas for a twin convention, so I'll be gone the next 2 Wednesdays. So that's going to be challenging, because traveling and being at a convention where you have prepaid for meals already and all that, but I'm going to figure it out.
You're going to figure it out. You're going to do the best that you can.
And you are one that has shared with us lots of healthy choices from traveling. So I know you've got several under your belt, shall we say?
Yes.
And
we're driving, so I can bring anything I want.
Yes.
That helps. Yeah, I do love road trips.
Yes. So where there's a will, there's a way. Did anybody hear the gal on Deb? Who was on Monday? Were you there? No, Deb. Did you, Margot? Did you, Carrie? I think I know Elaine probably was. Sharon. Go ahead,
Which,
Sharon.
which gal?
The coach gal who said she hates getting, when they were talking about structure is sanity and back to structure. And then the one gal said, I never get off structure even when I go on vacation.
Hmm.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm sure I heard it. Yep.
Tell me your takeaways. Sharon, tell me your takeaways while we have you here.
Oh no.
Are you at a spot you can share?
Um, uh-oh.
Don't forget
Just-
Ann. She was anxious before to share her takeaways.
Oh yeah, that gal that said, don't ever get out of structure.
Yeah,
And
figure out how much you can take with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the word came up about we're optimists, we're opt, optimists,
Optimist.
and activists.
Yes.
Optimists and activists.
I love it, Sharon. Optimist is an optimist, and an activist is an optimist.
Yep. And
That fits so perfect.
They just talked about so much about know what your triggers are. Figure out what your triggers are.
Yes, Sandy.
Avoid them. Don't plan ahead.
Avoid them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what, Sharon? Go ahead. Anything else that you want to add?
No, not
Sharon,
just structure.
Structure. What do you do to stay in structure, Sharon? What's your because you're in optimization and you're living in the weight management piece of the puzzle, right? What's your key to structure?
I just plan ahead. I plan ahead.
So one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Tell me how that looks.
Oh, I'm thinking more than a day at a time.
Okay.
I look at my calendar and, what do I got going on and what do I need to avoid? What do I need to prepare for?
Okay. And you do that like on a daily basis, just.
Oh, I like to do it, well, yeah, on a daily basis, but I like to be thinking farther ahead than just that day.
Right.
Because like even for the week, you can be thinking, what events do I have going on and what groceries am I going to be getting?
Yep. Just like we had a get together over the weekend. And I was already thinking the middle of the week, like, okay, what can I take that's healthy? Because I know nobody else is bringing anything healthy.
Yeah.
And
like I'm at a Airbnb and it has a fridge and, kitchenette thingy, but we haven't had time to go to the grocery store.
Right.
So I have feelings.
Good.
And some yummy cardamom ginger kombucha.
Glad we pushed them in, jammed them in.
I do always have Fuelings, bars with me. I do. And I offer my husband a bar and generally he will say, okay, because we're in the middle of traveling or something. And I know it's, 2 to 3 hours. And so I'm planning on what I'm,
And it's time to eat.
And it's time to eat. Yeah.
We got to eat. So you always stick with your eating plan, your eating timing, and you always plan ahead and you're looking for potholes, right?
Yep. I look for dips in the road.
Yep. And then Margot, do you do the same thing? You live in optimization as well. What's your key to structure so you don't get too far off do you ever get out of real structure or you allow yourself meals out of structure, but how do you stay in structure?
It's just become habit. When I went through the weight loss and the maintenance was all about planning and learning how to bring foods back in and things like that. And then now I go to the store, it's just second nature. I don't think about all those things I shouldn't have. I go right on buy them, where before you see them and go, ooh, and yes, I do for whatever reasons, when we were in Iowa, I go to a restaurant that had absolutely nothing on there that I could eat because of what I was going through. And I went, okay, so I'm going to go off. I didn't have really a choice, but I knew that the next day I had to get back on track. But again, it has become habit.
Did you hear what she said? Second nature. It's just a habit. It's just second nature. I just know what to get at the store, right? She's not bawling in the store and leaving because she's
no,
skilled.
It just,
right?
Yeah, and I used to have to make all these lists and all of that, and I don't even have to do that anymore. I
was thinking about it as you were saying it, getting into our routine, our good, healthy habits, that is our safety net. And I was thinking like trapeze artists or whoever, they always have the safety net. They actually practice falling.
Yeah.
So it's like us, it's like, oh, I failed. No, I'm practicing falling so that I can practice do it safely and how to get up. And that's exactly what you said, Margot. You rebound, and tomorrow I know exactly what to do.
Yeah. It's part of it, and I don't let it stop me. I just create it as part of my reality.
Yeah.
And I have to, but generally every day it's habit. It's not something I really
a true example of unconscious competence, guys. You don't think about it. You don't need. Whereas the gal who left the grocery store, I was literally saying, here's the list. Write it down. I want you to write down chicken. I want you to write down beef. I want you to write down frozen, this, and canned that. Literally, and that was blowing her mind. Okay.
Overwhelm is real, and when you're in overwhelm, you need 1, 2, 3, easy peasy, how to get out.
I said, you're gonna go to the store, you're gonna get these 4 things. Got it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it was literally painful, and I don't even know that anymore. It's hard for me to be patient because I'm unconsciously competent, right?
Yeah, well, you saw Amy's kitchen, right, Margot? When my sister was there house sitting, she's like, Carrie, there's no food in this house. Not even spices that aren't, burn your face off, chili peppers.
Yeah.
There's no flour, there's no sugar, there's no eggs, nothing to bake with. There's no food in this house. But that's what Amy's used to.
And yet the refrigerator is full.
Yeah, well, when Amy left for vacation, the refrigerator was close to empty, but
I mean, typically the refrigerator is full, it's all, and if you open it up, it's first thing you see is green.
And containers.
And cubicles of food.
And containers and green. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. But
that's exactly the point. It becomes your second nature.
Yeah.
And it was good for me watching Monday because I realized how much I do that is just second nature to me now. And out of the 6 habits, the only one that I have a challenge with is hydration. I got to keep working on that. But the others are
Sandy Margot, water
of my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I do have to share what was really fun this week is I had an appointment with my wound clinic. And part of the problems with anybody that knows that I'm dealing with these wounds on my legs is they come originally from diabetes, which of course is a sugar issue. So I'm going to this doctor and they're doing this promotion where all their patients are stars and they're giving them these cute little gold star chocolates. And I walked in, I knew this, and I walked in and I saw the dish of chocolate sitting there by the receptionist. And I reached over and grabbed it. And she goes, Margot, what are you doing? I said, I'm taking this to Dr. Rasmussen. She goes, what? I said, because I have something for him to replace it with.
The whole bowl? You grabbed the whole bowl?
I grabbed the whole bowl. And when I walked into his office, he's sitting there and he's looking at me with this whole bowl. And I go, part of what's in here is part of what got me here. I said, so why are you giving sugar out to your patients? Shame on you. And I handed him, and Amy will remember these. There's this wonderful sugar-free organic sucker. Amazing flavors there are that are called Yum Yum suckers. And I gave him a big bag of Yum Yum suckers, and I said, hand these out. And
you came prepared.
Tell people they're your sweet spot of life or something like that. Create something different rather than being your sweet stars that are going to give them sugar they shouldn't have. And he looked at me, he got beet red, and he said, I have never been so totally embarrassed by a patient in my career.
You totally called him out.
I said, I'm sorry. I said, how long have I been coming to you? How long have you been treating me? And I can't help it. You're giving out sugar to your, I said, nice that you're doing something for us, but there's something else you could do. And this is a really fun, healthy thing. Here's where you can get them, and you can give these out year long. And that was my visit with him. I know Amy's hanging her head and oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Stop. That's awesome.
That was my big win for the week.
Well, and Sharon, that's a huge win. That is huge. Bravo. And I love Sharon said, I'm always looking for potholes. I'm planning like the danger. She's always looking for danger, right? She's got her radar up. Where's my danger? She's looking for her sugar, right? Sandy, she's looking for the danger spots, right? And she literally sends all her, if they're not her client and they're just in a challenge, or they're just her friend, or, you know, they're in the challenge, she's literally sending them, oh, here's a fueling hack, or, oh, here's a healthy recipe for this. She's helping them she's giving them.
Seeing how easy and how possible it is.
Yeah, the way around the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and she's brilliant at that. She's coming up with and knows everybody. She knows everybody.
Well, yay, Sharon, too.
Yeah, she
Thank
knows
you.
everybody's weak spot. And I'm always seeing these little notices of Sharon sending these little like life preservers out to her friends, right?
Yeah, I see you taking it all in, Deb. Did you have a
yeah.
win of the week or a challenge to share, or
well,
or something from Monday, or
I did. First of all, thank you for the Yum Yum idea. I for the first time found sugar-free popsicles. So they're really good too. I have a hard time finding those. But my win was that I've been by myself for 20 years at least. I was dating someone, and I broke it off because he wouldn't listen to me and he wouldn't respect the boundaries that I set. So I'm totally proud of the entire way I handled our dating time, which was short, but also that I wasn't going to let anybody do that to me. So yay.
Good for you, and self-love and self-care.
Yeah.
Yes, that's part of self-love. Boundaries.
Yep.
I love a definition that made me think of Deb. I recently read, and I'd seen it before. Now I know I'm not going to say it exactly right, but boundaries are finding the way I can love you and myself at the same time.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't respect that, then he doesn't respect you.
Yeah. No. Wasn't going to work.
Proud of you, Deb.
Thank you.
Round of applause,
everybody. For doing that and for sharing.
Yeah. And now Deb is just about to enter the weight management macro habit gang, so she can learn a lot from us. You're hearing a lot. What? Plan ahead, look for danger.
Oh yes. Yeah, I am a big planner, so that's good.
Yeah, and then
the horizon.
And then just follow the steps. Just follow the steps, and it will work. So if we work it.
And what I have to
go ahead.
The other thing I have to do, which Sandy and Sharon are both great examples, is I have got to start moving more. While it was hot outside, I was able to go to the pool and walk the currents, but it hasn't been hot for a couple weeks now. So I've got to get moving.
Yeah. So, something outdoor and something indoor, because weather is real.
Always remember, don't focus on what you can't do.
Right.
Don't ask why can't I? How could I?
Yeah. Yeah.
How could I? That's the question. How could I get more movement if I had to? How could I? So
No, I have to. So
Yeah, and
I
so
will.
find something that you enjoy and you will do it. Yeah, absolutely.
you get to, you want to, you choose to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And
And
you will
for my health, I really do have to.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I need to want to.
Yeah, you
And
know
then
the
I need
good
to do it.
consequences. You know
Yes.
the good benefit.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, and if you need an accountability buddy, yeah, obviously anyone here,
Yeah.
but big Sandy and Margot and Sharon,
Even though
call me
walking
out.
outdoors when it's so hot and humid, I love going to the Arboretum. I love walking. I hate being soaky, wet, sticky. But you know
Yes.
what? I go for my walk. I come home soaked, like taking off a wet swimming suit, trying to pull your pants up when you go to the bath. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I figured, well, that's stupid. You can come home and wash up and cool down.
Yeah.
Just
I know.
go get sticky wet
Yeah.
and do your walk and be happy.
Yeah, enjoy it. And it doesn't have to be, that's part of your cool down of your routine.
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
coach always says you don't have to like the habit, but you really, if you love the result, then it'll get you through the habit.
Yeah.
And I wanted to throw in something that Amy and I saw in our emotional well-being class last Friday, that scientists have discovered when we flex our muscles, it releases the muscles that are connected to the bones. It actually releases a certain protein, and I don't remember, no, not cytokines, but specifically the myokines are called the hope molecules.
Hope molecule.
No,
That's why
exercise gives.
kayaking. Flex
Yeah.
muscles, kayak.
Yep. Big time. So we know happy is like the endorphins, the dopamine, but the myokines are hope molecules. So gives you that little bit of, extra motivation.
Yeah.
No wonder
That's
I'm
great.
when I'm kayaking. I just noticed in the chat that Anne had to leave. And I feel bad because she was ready to talk and we were going to do it later and then she had to leave. And I think she had something to say. And so I feel bad that we couldn't be support because I think she needed our support today. So we have to be really aware when somebody's ready to talk, let's just stop and let them share because it might be in the moment that they need to do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I will be talking to her.
That's good.
We have a plan for tomorrow, but yes, I did not start on the healthy eating plan as I mentioned.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that out, Sandy. Yeah, I copied and pasted it. I was gonna make sure Amy got that in her.
Yeah.
And hopefully Anne will see the recording, the rest of it, to see how we do include everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was her first time and she wanted
knew
to
she
say
couldn't
something.
stay today too, so I think she'll be okay. And we have a plan to talk tomorrow. So.
And I see Roxy joined us, but she's not at work today, but kind of at work because she's in the kitchen.
I love all you.
What you cooking, Rox?
She's doing her little cooking little videos all the time. And Roxy, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Roxy posted Margot doing our Margot's Moments at the end of last and she posted the Margot you live on her Facebook page. She recorded it.
Yeah, I already asked her for that. I think it's like 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, that's what you asked about.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I say it all the time what's happening, but in my own words, and I'm afraid I'm not saying it enough. So that's what I said. Oh, I like that. I didn't know what you're gonna say. I just took my phone and then it came really nice. So, well, you always say something inspirational. So that's what I was
great.
And I loved your cauliflower tacos. Drop the chalupa. Yo quiero una gordita.
I'm gonna make flautas.
My favorite.
Yeah, that's for a lady who came from Chile. And she really wants flautas. So I'm gonna make original flautas, and I'm also gonna make eggplant, using eggplant as a tortilla. But I just do for me and also to teach her an option, but she's expecting something, so I'm gonna do the real thing. But I mean, I just went shopping really quick, and sometimes it's been a while that I don't invite nobody in my house, and then I just cook for basically myself and my daughter. And I was like, okay, I like this adrenaline too. She's coming at 4, so that's okay. Gives me emotion.
So you're making an alternative flauta with eggplant.
Yeah, the
Yes,
healthy
Good for her.
choice.
the healthy
That is
choice.
fantastic.
A lean and green flauta.
What a
Yes.
great choice. My mouth is
Wow.
watering. I want to try it. Definitely post it because I'd love to see that. And I'm so excited for you to give her an alternative. That is so great.
Oh
And
yeah. I always love to cook, so and I love to cook, but it's for someone else to really, I don't know, it's kind of bonding, or I don't know. I just met the ladies. It's it's an aunt of one of the ladies who started working in the challenge. So suddenly we become friends, and then the aunt came and I said, okay, yeah, ask me for anything Mexican.
And Roxy, over time, haven't you found a way around the potholes and to find a way how to make things in a healthy way?
Yes, I'm always changing things. Like there is the traditional food has a lot of calories and everything is like lots of cheese and lots of thing like it's not always healthy. So I'm always changing things and inventing and discovering things. Not inventing because they're been always there, but I say like, what if?
Yeah, I think your cauliflower tortillas are going to be world famous very soon.
Yeah.
Do you use that recipe conversion document at all for converting?
Actually, yeah, for base, but then I do my own now. For example,
but for the basic.
the tortillas, they always have spices control. So now I put a lot of turmeric. That's why it comes yellow. I put cilantro and I put any color or flavor, essential oils.
Now she's competently incompetent. She just does it herself.
Yeah, I just felt like I'm thinking I'm in maintenance, so I don't really need to count, but I'm just have to put healthy.
You're an optimist.
And now you're expanding your environment of healthy people. So that's good.
Yeah, I love a kitchen. It's my goal.
She's an optimization. She's an optivist. She's an what is it? Optimist and activist. Optimist. Yeah. Do I see Fuelings on the wall in the back there? Are those Fuelings on your wall?
Oh yeah, there. Yeah, because I still eat 3 or 2 a day.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And by the way, Sharon and I found some awesome hacks for cookie dough ice cream sandwiches. We found
here's my
brownie
thing.
Oh, yay!
Look good. That's like a whole bouquet of Fuelings.
Yeah.
Whole basket.
And I'm also having trouble with the water, so I have the infusers because if I don't have, it's hard for me to drink plain water. Sometimes it's good, but so I said I have to have plenty of infusers. And then I'm happy. And I just put it, drink the water like nothing.
So Roxy, your structure is pretty solid. You have a good strategy and a good structure, and you're pretty solid with that, right?
Yes.
So
I'm always trying to like they said in Monday night, I always drink my water at the beginning. I just don't drink coffee or anything before my water.
Yeah.
And, that's something that I'm doing good, and I'm always trying to exercise at least 3 times or 4 times a week. I'm still have to work in more of the other macro habits, but still those are good for me now.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were talking on Monday night about people getting out of structure because it's summer and kids being home and going on vacations. But do you like Margot, when you came down here when you traveled, and Sandy, when you travel, we don't have to lose all our marbles. We don't have to lose all our marbles, right? We might lose a few, but man, there's no reason why we can't get up and go for a walk. There's no reason why we can't take our aminos in baggies like that gal said when she goes to Europe. She takes her, and I went to Ecuador with my things in my baggies and my little cups, and you know what I mean? It's just all about planning and prepping. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? We don't have to lose all our marbles. And
the things I brought to you were so simple for me to put together to bring down.
She brought her cooler and she had her little things already made. It was great. I just loved it. It was so
And
awesome.
whether I used them or not was irrelevant. I had them.
She had them.
So if I needed to fall back on them, I could fall back on it. And it was just real simple.
And we ate out. We had some good meals, and then we had we had our good meals. We had our normal meals the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah. So life is possible and it is fun, if you just don't. The thing that really stressed me when I was watching Monday, what really stressed me out was the people saying the kids were home, they went on vacations, and they lost all their structure. It stressed me out. My blood pressure started to rise. I literally realized I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
Which do you hate? The change?
The getting completely out of structure, and then the people were describing
having to come back,
having to get back into structure. And for me, it's like, okay, that's like going on a diet and off a diet, and it stressed me out just listening to it. It was so bad. I was like, stop. It was really interesting. It caused me stress. But I really love the idea of, they had the retired couple, they had the parents, they had different ages and stages, and how structure looks for each stage. And it was wasn't it, Margot? Was it wonderful?
Yeah. And I think part of it too is, for whatever reason, when people are going on vacation, or maybe it's a work trip or whatever, they think of it as something completely different than their everyday life. And it really isn't. It's just a different location.
Yeah.
And if you are set in your structure and your habits, you're going to be able to typically go to a restaurant and find things you can eat without any problem whatsoever, or take things along, or when you get there and everybody's buying all this grilling stuff and all, getting what will work for you, just because it comes naturally. It doesn't have to be well, we're going on vacation, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I wonder, anybody hear from Betty? I wonder if Betty's okay.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if she said she had
I texted her and she didn't text back.
And Kathy is out of town too. But anyway, she is working on her purpose statement. I know Betty was going to work on hers with the template. Thank you for adding that in, Carrie. Before we leave today, I want to just remind you guys, Kate is doing another Conquer Cravings with Kate tomorrow at 2, and we'll get different dates and times in September. But if you still want to join that, if you want to do it again with a different food, you can. And I put that out early this morning. If you need the links, let me know. Friends, they don't have to be clients. Anybody can do it. So 2 o'clock tomorrow. And then if you want a specific day or time in September, let us know. That is still happening. I do have Labor Day recipe books, back to school lunchbox tips. If anyone wants those specifically, let me know. And then sign up for the support and encouragement group. We're not going to call it a challenge. Habits of Health. We talked about that. And last but not leastly, I realized this. If you go back and watch the live I did again, I realized on Monday that when she called this a health class, I have, in 5.5 years, I've been to 385 health classes.
Oh,
at least.
My gosh.
At minimum. That's the Monday night health.
Because there's bonus nights and blah, blah, blah.
Then there's bonus nights. There's Dave Blanchard. Then there's
your coaching ones.
There's Jim Quick. Then there's my Friday mental health class, right? I was like, do you know how cool that is? Because this is optimal life education. And if we don't go to school and we skip class, how do we expect to learn the thing? We can't do it. We have to learn the thing. We have to learn the thing. It's a class. It's just like you can't show up and pass. You have to get, if you're going to be an accountant, if you're going to be a doctor, if you're going to be an engineer, you got to go to class, guys. It makes so much sense. Right?
Yeah. And thank you for showing up here, because we love the personal shares, and there's tons of information out there, and it's all good.
Yeah. Is next week David's last night?
I think so. Yeah. David Blanchard tonight and next week, but unless they announce different, it ends.
Yeah, but luckily we'll have the recordings. And here's the thing, we can take the recordings and we can actually still host Health and Hope nights. you know, and we can use the recordings on and just put them up and then have people come and watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like live, but
Yeah, but there's no reason
but
why.
the information is still there, and it is so bad. And as you were saying that, how many of these health classes have you been to? And if you had to pay to do that, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And this stuff is free.
Amy, I have to say how impressed I was the other day with the call with David when you talked about how many people had seen your videos and you didn't even realize it. You're doing them and you had no idea how many people were looking. And what was the number? It's huge.
Some of them are 400. Yesterday was 700 already.
Wow.
I mean, and no idea.
Well, you can say 701 because I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go watch it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's dumbfounding, and I'm excited about it. I mean, I don't know, you know, and then I'm actually sharing the link with people that I want to make sure to watch it, you know, whatever it is, because I do. It's nice when people comment because then I know what people are getting out of it. But yeah, it was really fun. Deb, what was your takeaway from today? Sandy, what was your takeaway from today? Did you guys have a takeaway from? Because I know you didn't watch this thing, but what's your big aha moment?
Structure.
Structure.
Yeah.
And that vacation isn't any different from every day, just at a different location.
Just remembering to plan ahead.
Yeah. I mean, for example, we're going to Dallas to this convention. We've prepaid for the convention, which includes several meals, and those are totally out of my hands. But there's still the option of choices like not eating bread, taking just the meat, choosing the salad, skipping the dessert, you know, get out of the clean plate club and just leave it behind.
Yeah.
Which is really hard for me because in kindergarten, you learn clean plate club and it kind of sticks with you. So
yeah,
and they were not inexpensive dinners that they were going to, 60 and 70.
Because what are you going to get if you clean the plate? A gold chocolate star?
Yeah.
Oh, don't offer
Right,
me a
Marco?
chocolate star. I'm going to grab it.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, that's an emotional eating thing, and that is something to definitely have a few sessions with Kate on privately, because that the clean plate cup thing is in your nervous system. It is in there like a broken.
Yeah, I actually thought of you, Sandy, because Kate just had a class, and one of the things they did was that about cleaning the plate and whatever and throwing away food. And they actually had, I don't remember if it was the daughter or the granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor. And her whole body was like shaking and she was crying. She's like, I can't throw away food. Yeah. And we got I remember, Sandy, I mean, I got the gold star if I clean my plate, if I didn't, you know.
And I learned it from my mom. She grew up in the Depression. You don't waste food. What I do is I save it for another meal and make something else out of it, usually. I really have a problem throwing food away. I've been using smaller plates to have my meal. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it. But I do see the connection. I totally see the connection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's real. And we don't want to just say, oh, stop doing that. There's more to it. Working on the emotional below that is, and it can definitely be cleared, worked with, improved.
Absolutely can be cleared.
However you want to word it.
In the meantime, I hate throwing away food too, because partly I live with my husband, but I will like you said, Sandy, I will repurpose it and I will do something else with it, or I will freeze it or whatever. Yeah. So
I'm queen of goulash or scrambled eggs or something that you could put all the leftovers into. And my dad was a garbage man, and he would literally at home or at a restaurant would clean up everybody's plate. You're not going to eat that. You're not going to eat that. Well, he's well over 400 pounds, but I saw that and like, oh, I can't waste it. I can't waste it. So I took on that as well. But literally, he's like, oh, scrape it on his plate, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, so I get it, Sandy.
You know, it's interesting because I grew up in a restaurant And one of the things I was so proud of with my dad is over the years, he really, you know, like you go to restaurants now and they can't give you big enough portions. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They just make it look so huge.
Right.
And he didn't do that because we saw so much food get thrown out. We couldn't,
Right.
if somebody sent a sandwich half back, we couldn't repurpose that. We couldn't, it had anything that came back on the plate had to be thrown out. And the amount of food that we threw out was horrendous.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
legal
over the
sanitation
years-
purposes.
Yeah, and over the years, he cut back because he didn't want that. He wanted them to eat. He'd rather have them order something extra than order to get
And
so much
waste.
that we were throwing it away.
Yep. Yep. Well, anyway, think something to consider, Sandy. And if you got something that's stuck in your craw, work with Kate, because that emotional freedom technique really, really, really works. So we'll end for today. Thank you very much for showing up. It means the world to me. It helps me. It helps all of us. And there are people that watch these recordings. So bless be to you as well. If you're listening, and we're glad you're listening. So,
You have time for the inspiration, or do you
yes,
want
let's
to?
do it. Yeah. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Okay, it's good for today. There's a winner in all of us. Winners may take a while to commit, but once they do, there is no stopping them. Winners take chances, and like everyone else, they fear falling and failing, but they refuse to let fear control them. Winners don't give up. When life gets tough, they get tougher. Winners are flexible. They realize there is more than one way to accomplish a goal. Winners know they're not perfect. They respect their weaknesses while making the most of their strength. Winners fail, but they don't stay down. They stubbornly refuse to let a fall or a failure keep them from climbing up. Winners don't blame fate for their failures, nor credit luck for their success. Winners accept responsibility for their lives. Winners are positive thinkers who see good in all things. From the ordinary, they make the extraordinary. Winners believe in the path that they have chosen, even when it is hard. Winners know when a goal is worthy, it's worth the effort and patience that's required to achieve it. Winners are people like you, striving to better themselves for the people they love and ultimately making this world a better place just by being in it.
We are winners.
We
We
Yay.
are winners.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Beautiful.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Margo.
Awesome. I'm going to end
you,
the
Margo.
recording now, and have a great day, everybody. And Margo, do you want to